Hello everybody, I haven't posted a video for a long time. I decided to do another one today. Let's see how it goes. Today we have a 2014 Mercedes CLA45 AMG transmissions or transmission control units. This unit is installed right in the valve body basically. The customer took it off and sent it out to me for me to reprogram it, another used one to it, or cloning it. It's basically not cloning, but I will go over it with you guys and I will show you what type of transmission we have. Sorry for the glare and the blur. It's a VGS-FDCT type of transmission. Both of them are the same. Hope you guys can see good. All right, so Otel or 8200, the one that I had, actually did not do this job. So I'm using another tool in here. It's from Alien Tech KESS3 master version. This should be able to read and write this TCU easily. So let me get to the program. We'll go from there. Okay, everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up this Alien Tech suite of software. It will take a few seconds to open up. I have actually looked up this TCU on here, and it was there. And I also tried to identify it, and I was able to have a good communication with it from before. So that's why you see it on the list in here. But I will show you guys how you can just find it on your list. It's so easy. You just go to the search bar. You could type the type of transmission it is, which is a VGS-FDCT, if I'm not wrong. Correct. And I do have a CLA. This one looks like a late. There's two of them in here. You guys see for the CLA. One of them is 910 and 920. This is an AMG, and it was 2014, I believe. I believe it's gonna be this one. Sometimes they do have a split year. They start making some parts differently within between the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose this one. Basically, this is showing that this can only be done on the bench. We cannot do this through the OBD. As you guys see, when I hover my mouse, it says bench on the top. So I'm gonna select this. That's why I have it on the bench, and I'm gonna press continue. And do I want to see the manual? I do. This will show me all the diagrams. I'm gonna maximize the screen in a moment right now. Okay, this is the screen that comes up. Once we do all the connections, we're gonna hit the identify the ECU, and we will see if we do have a good communication with it. So as you guys see, this thing has a very nice instructions. But you guys need to read. I mean, everyone needs to read every single instruction every time, maybe, unless you really know what you're doing. I have been fooled before, not reading reading all the instructions properly, and that was something else to be done. I did not know. It made me waste a lot of time. Just as an advice to you guys. So just make sure, if you're not familiar with the type of ECU you're cloning, just make sure you read instructions in the beginning first time very, very carefully. As you guys see, they are showing me the sticker on it, VGS-FDCT. The other numbers might be slightly different. That's fine. And these are the connections I have shown you guys on the other video. And I have the CAN high, CAN low, and also in here the power line, 12 volts. And also I have the ground wire going to the chassis off to the VGS itself, to the metal part. We can just attach this alligator clip, and ground is supplied to the ECU through here. Okay, and it also gives you all the pins, what they are, and what colors they are, and which ones, what's the description of them: CAN high, CAN low, power, ground, whatever they are. And the colors do not have to match. Sometimes you might have a broken wire, one of your wires are broken, so you can mix and match as long as you know where they're going to. That's totally fine. So I'm gonna minimize this, and since you guys seen before, I have did my connections properly and I'm connected to the original module itself. I'm gonna go ahead and try to hit the button, identify ECU, see if we do have a good communication with it. It will take less than a minute, but close to a minute for it to identify it correctly. All right, once you guys see this message communicating with the server, meaning that it is having some type of communication with the ECU. After this, it will try to directly communicate with the module itself, which is the one right now retrieving ID information, and it will give us some information about the ECU that we have. All right, only piece that it showed me on this particular one is this hardware number, basically. It didn't give me all the other information in here. Some of the ECUs it shows you, some of them it doesn't. Not exactly sure what the reason is. So at this point, I'm connected to, like I mentioned, my original one. I want to do a backup on both the files, where the tuning files are, where all the tuning files are stored in the tri-core 1766 type of chip or MCU. And also we have a separate EEPROM, I believe, St. Thompson's 95640. We're gonna read both of them, and we're going to write that onto the new ECU. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. It's not a new one. It's a used one from a junkyard from another vehicle. So I can hit the button, right? Read backup, but I'm gonna do them separately this time. So I'm gonna read the map file right now. It should be a little longer than the EEPROM file. First, it's gonna go through all the process that it did in the beginning again. It will identify the ECU again before it starts reading it. Okay, now it's reading all the partitions of the MCU. Like I mentioned almost all in my other videos, please be very careful with your connections. Make sure everything is very stable, nothing is loose or hanging. During the procedures, reading and writing, you can just break the module, so be very careful. It could be a very expensive mistake. Actually, you could be using this file to tune the transmission as well. If that's what you're interested in, that's the file that you need. You would not read the EEPROM file most of the time, at least. It says sending log files. Just want to explain to you guys what that is. Basically, after every operation it does, it sends log files back to the Alien Tech, headquarters. It records every single action you do with this device, and if you do encounter any problems, they already have the record of every single thing that you try to do with your device, basically reading or especially during the reading and writing procedures or identification processes. So I'm gonna save this file in here. Set 2014 CLA45 DC. Sorry, VGS. maps. All right. I'm gonna save this file, and by the way, obviously you guys can save it as the name you guys like. That's just the way I choose to write it. I'm gonna read also the EEPROM. It will go through the same process again, identification of the whole ECU one more time. And by the way, guys, I'll give you guys some information on Alien Tech. It's basically a tuning company. They make a lot of devices. They make this device, KESS3. They used to have KESS2 and then KTAG. KTAG was only able to read on the bench and on the boot mod. A KESS2 version was only to do OBD, reading and writings. But with this new device, KESS3, they combined both devices together in a better platform. Using this device, you can actually read and write probably the most of the ECUs that's on the market. That's only basically on the engines and some transmissions only. Usually the tuners use this device to be able to read tuning files of the vehicle and then edit them on a different platform, and then write back the files. Basically, this device is only used for reading and writing files of the ECUs. And it's probably the best or one of the best on the market for such job. It's kind of pricey, maybe around, if you're trying to buy it in the US, maybe $6,500 US dollars to $7,000 with the shipping. I mean, this device is active with all the car for the full car configurations, such as boot, bench, and also OBD2. That's how much it cost me for a master version. But I believe if you get it from Europe, you might get it a little cheaper, maybe around like $6,000. It's pretty expensive, but if you're doing a lot of these stuff, cloning ECUs, and if you're tuning or you need to clone modules, this is a very useful tool. I would really recommend it. If you're doing at least maybe like, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 a month at least, it will definitely worth it. So let me save also the EEPROM file, 2014. I have this right here. Let me just edit this. Instead of maps, I'm gonna put EEPROM. All right, I saved this one as well. Now I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna transfer the connections to the new module, and we're gonna write it back to it, and we should be done with it. Okay, guys. So I did my connections to the new used transmission control unit. I'm gonna go back to the micro. I can, I mean, to be in a better safe side, it's better to read this whole unit. This time, let's actually read backup. I'm just gonna do a full backup on this ECU. Save it on the side just in case. I'm not gonna make you guys wait for this process. I'm just gonna do a little pause until it's done reading it totally. Right, it's almost done reading the map files or the tuning files. It's gonna start reading the EEPROM now. All right, this was the new unit that we got from the junkyard. So we will not need this file. Actually, we're gonna override it now. But just in case if something goes wrong, we always have a reference to go back to. Just gonna write back in here, 2014, 14 CLA TCT. Okay, hold on. And we're gonna write it here on new backup, and it will save up two files actually, one with the EEPROM, one with the P flash or the micro side of the chip. Yes, I want to save them separately, and it saved them to my file in the same file that where I saved my other files to, with two different files with the same name. One of them is going to have EEPROM, one of them is going to have micro assignment. So from here, I'm just going to go back to micro again. I'm going to press write. I'm going to select the original file that we have read from the original module. Here we go. This is the original maps file. As you guys can see in here as well, you see backup EEPROM and backup MPC. Okay. Gonna go original maps. Open this file up. It might ask us to give the original file, which it didn't at this point, to do a checksum correction. Now it's writing back into the junkyard ECU the original file. This might take a little longer time than reading, so we just patiently have to wait. All right, guys. Micro file is done writing successfully. I'm gonna go to EEPROM now, press write, and I'm gonna choose the original file one more time. All right, this is my file. Not this one. All right, so this is the original EEPROM file. I'm gonna press OK. It's gonna see again if you need the original file again, but it will not need on this point, I believe. If you do read backup and write backup, you don't have to wait all this, basically. But I just did it on this way so you guys can see how it works on the backup wise, and how it also works on the one by one. Because sometimes you might just have to do them separately, or you might just want to transferring just a portion of it, let's say just the EEPROM or just the map files. You might be just interested in one of those files instead of getting both. EEPROM file should be much quicker. That is it, guys. That's what it takes to reprogram this ECU from the original one to another used one. I don't want to say exactly cloning because it did not give me the option in here, as you guys see, to clone it. So this ECU actually might need, once this ECU is installed on the vehicle with a scan tool or with an original tool, it might have to do a drive authorization teach-in. That might be an There might be a scenario, but I'm not exactly sure. I will let my client know about that. If that needs to be done, it could be done with a proper scanner or with the Xentry, which is an OEM tool. So that is it for this video, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.